Right. So last class we have completed multi-threading chapter. Any questions? No questions, sir. Okay, let's start next chapter. Collections framework. It is also called as what? Collections and generics. Okay, collections framework is the right heading. Collection framework is wrong. Either in my textbook or outside any faculty or students are calling it as collection framework. It is wrong. You have to pronounce it as collections framework. Initially, I used to call it as collection framework. Everybody also calling it as collection framework. Later, I changed in class, but not in the material. So still people are following my material, calling as collection framework. Okay, so you don't pronounce it as collection. You have to pronounce it as collections. Okay, tell me, what are you learning in this chapter? In this chapter, the main target is not developing business logic, not developing what you call presentation logic. This chapter is meant for developing persistence logic. Persistence logic means storing data permanently, either in the file or in the database. But here persistence means what? Just storing objects in the program as a one group. So the target of this chapter is creating one object to store multiple objects as a one group. Okay, without size limitation, without type limitation, without size limitation, and without type limitation. Okay, so now tell me, if I create array object, how can I store multiple objects as a one group? By using array. If I create array int type, then what type of objects I can store? Only int values. If I create a double, if I create student, only student objects I can store. If I create employee class object. If I create string array, my requirement is I want to store multiple objects without type limitation. Any kind of object can store. Any kind of object must be stored. Any kind of object can be stored without limitation. Means, for example, if I create string object with a string s equal to new string of with the size 10, how many strings I can store here? Only 10. Only 10 I can store. I want to store multiple objects without a type and without size. Then how can I store? That is where a new concept came into picture called what? Collection. Then what is a collection? Collection, not collections. Chapter name is collections, but you have to pronounce it as singular. Collection. When you are working with the word framework, collections framework. When you are individually talking, you have to call as collection. Now tell me, like string. String is a collection of characters. Limited number or unlimited number? Inside double quote, as many you write, those many it will accept. String is also kind of collection, but it is a collection of characters. Then what the difference between string and a collection? Collection is a collection of objects. Collection of objects. Now the question. Now, collection of objects with size or without size limitation? Without size. With a type or without a type? Without type. Tell me, string will store all types of characters, no? Either digits or letters or special characters, all kinds of characters it can store. Similarly, collection also can store all kinds of objects. How it can store all kinds of objects? We will discuss that point. Okay, second point. Like string, collection is also a class. Okay, string is a class, collection is also a class. Now, if it is a class, open bracket, closed bracket will be there or not? Class collection definition, open bracket, closed bracket. Inside the class collection, we need some memory to store all these objects. Tell me now, this collection is a class, open bracket, closed bracket. Inside this class collection, I have to store objects. I have to store objects. Tell me, to store objects, here I need memory, na? Tell me, what is this memory? String is meant for storing characters. Then the class string, open bracket, closed bracket. What is there inside to store characters? Come on. Char array, not character array. What is there inside? Char array. String class contain char array for storing multiple characters. Similarly, collection must have here what should be there? Collection array. String as a string array. String meant for storing characters. So what it is having? Collection meant for storing. Then what it will have? Which class object? Student. If you have string array, then the collection become what? String collection. If you have student array, collection become what? Student array. You want to store particular type of objects or any objects? Any class object means what is the referenced variable? I want to store any class object. Then what is the referenced variable I have to take here? What is the type of reference variable for storing any type of object? String. Where? Don't show. Simple question I'm asking. In the class collection, I want to store any kind of object. Then for storing any kind of object, I need a reference variable. What the type of that reference variable? Come on, everyone. Then why you are waiting? Why you are giving wrong answers? Where? Generic. What? How? What is the type of where substituted? Where is a special identifier. What the type is substituted there? Any type substituted. On what basis compiler replace where? Based on the right side assigned value. Right side 5, then it is in. Right side 10.5, that is double. Right side single quote a char. Right side new student, student. Then that become this variable become common to all types or specific to the right side type. Next, this class collection meant for storing a particular object at the time of compilation, at the time of runtime. The objects come into the collection, development time or runtime. Runtime if the value coming, how can I write where variable semicolon? What? Yes, sir. And after this much analyzation, you will say, okay, sir. You don't analyze yourself. But you remember it. Thank you. Now tell me, what the type here I have to take? Object. Why you are choosing object? Object is a superclass of all classes. It can store any type of object. Done. Next question. Collection is meant for storing one object or meant for storing multiple objects? Multiple objects. Then if I create a variable of type object, can it store multiple objects or only one object? Only one object. Then tell me what I have to create here. Object or object array na? Object array. Okay na? Object array equal to, tell me. Now here I should create object array na? See, if I write just a semicolon, is it object array na or just a variable of type object array? Do you have locations here to store objects? No. Then to create locations, I should write what? New object array. Tell me, whenever you write object array, size I have to mention? Yes. Without size, can I create array? Tell me. At the time of this collection is developing, do I know the particular objects to store in this array? No. I know only how many objects I can store, but I don't know what are the exact objects. Those exact objects I have to collect from the user. User will pass, take it and store. At this minute, what information I have? I need to store objects. How many? 10. Okay, now how many? 10. So I mentioned 10 objects. Then at runtime, from the main method, I am taking objects and storing in this array. Everyone understand? So finally tell me, what is a collection? A collection is a class. Simple. Like a string, collection is also a class. Who defined this class? Object class defined. Array. Who? Who defined this class collection? I developed, Sun developed. It is available as part of. Sun developer classes are available where? In my house, in your house, where? API documentation. Where classes are available, Babu? In a JDK software. Okay, this class is developed by Sun Microsystem and it is available in JDK software. When you install JDK software, by default, we will get this collections framework API. Okay, na? Tell me, are you here to develop collection? No. Are you here to use collection? Yes. Hey, really, yeah? Thanks, Rav. Okay. Tell me, as a user, what you must do? You should define collection class and its members, or you should create object of collection class. Create object of collection class and call the methods available in the collection class to perform different operation on that collection. What are the different operations I can perform on the collection? Storing only, na? Store, read, update, delete. Some operations we can do that. Okay. So finally tell me, what is a collection? From your point of view, what is a collection? Collection is a class, or collection is an object? Collection is a object. Object will be created from where? One class. Okay. So what is a collection? Collection is a object. Tell me, collection is an object of business object or container object? Why? It contains other objects. So what is a collection? Collection is a container object. What the use of collection? It is used for storing multiple objects as one group with a single name. With a single name, without type and size limitation. Collection accepts all type of objects. Collection accepts an unlimited number of growable objects. Unlimited ante inka your visha. Crores you can store. Tell me, in this room, multiple students can be come ante unlimited. No. This room size. Right? What is the size of collection? Array size. If array size is the collection size, then it is a growable or non-growable, bhaiya? Non-growable, it's a fixed. What the size of collection? How much? How much it will grow? Infinite size? Depends. Yeah, depends. Adutunandra Swami. Swami. Oh my Swami. 1000. Yeah, 2000. Any problem? What the size of collection? Excellent. Heap area size. Where you are creating collection object? Heap area. How much size is there in heap area? That much size it can grow. Following? But simple question also I am not answering. Waste. Not feeling? Not feeling? Feel Rava, okay. Simple questions also I am unable to find out. I am such a worst fellow. You must feel, okay. If you don't feel, you will not get job, okay. Tell me, where I am creating collection object in heap area, then this fellow is telling that collection is growable. How much size it can grow? Already I gave you example, this classroom size. What the classroom in Java? JVM. How much size? JVM size it can grow. That's all, simple. Okay, done. Come back. So what is a collection? A collection is a group of collection is a container object. It is used for storing multiple objects without type and size limitation. Okay, done. Collection is meant for storing objects. Na? Yes. Collection is meant for storing object in which order? Insertion order, key value pair order. There are two orders are there. Insertion order, insertion order and array order. Array order means index order. Okay, now object index 0, second object index 1, third object index 2, index order it will be there. Okay, so now collection store object in which order? Index order, key value pair order. Okay, for example, I am giving you some value here. Online students, can you see me? Very good. Now I am taking some data called 7279 HK Naresh IT Java. Okay, I gave the data 7279 HK NIT Java. Now this data I have stored in an array format, means 4 locations are created with the index number 0, 1, 2, 3. Is it a collection or not? Yes, it's a collection of data of different types. Now the question, if I show this data to outside person, okay, if I show this data to outside person, then what can he understand? Okay, in Amirpet everybody knows Naresh IT, na? Naresh IT is an institute offering Java training for the rupees 7,279 rupees. Hari Krishna is a student learning Java in Naresh IT by paying 7,279. Why 279? Why that odd number? Okay, maybe some tax problems, right? GST problems or whatever, right? So finally tell me, is this data is meaningful to the outside people or not meaningful? But actually, HK is a student or faculty. Naresh IT is an institute. Java is a course. 7279. Reason. Cannot say no. How faculty can have serial number? Employee number. Okay. Name. Next, institute, course or teachers. Now ENO, name, institute, teachers. This is what key. What is employee number? Value. What the value? 7279. Name HK, institute Naresh IT, and teachers Java. Now tell me, if I store data in a key value pair format, tell me, is it more meaningful to the outsider or not? Should I give any information about me? No. So tell me, this 0, 1, 2, 3 index based is called array format. Array format. Key value pair is called what? Table format. What format? Table format. Now tell me now. Finally, in how many formats collection can store data? 2 formats, array format and table format. So tell me, what is the use of collection? What the purpose of collection? Collection is a, I mean, in this chapter, what are you learning? In this chapter, we are learning a biggest problem. We are learning how to solve the biggest problem of the project. Storing data in the project. Storing objects in the project is the biggest problem. Okay, storing multiple individual objects as a one group without a type and size limitation in a different formats. What? In a different formats. In different formats, and also used for transferring all those objects at a time from one class to another class as a method argument and return value with a single name across all layers of the project. All layers of the project. A project has how many layers? 3 layers. View layer. Array, what is our project architecture? MVC. View layer, controller layer, model layer. Okay, na? Read again. Chapter completed. And there, collection chapter complete. Katham. Huh? Come on. Collection chapter is used to solve the major problem in the project's development, that is storing multiple individual objects as a one group without a type and size limitation in a different format and transferring all those objects at a time from one class to another class as a method argument. Return value with a single name across all layers of the project. Name ante variable name, parameter name, and return type. Okay. So this is the purpose we are going to use what? Collections. Wherever you want to store multiple objects, there we have to use collection. Then why do we need collection when I have array already? Correct? Array is also meant for same. What the problem of array? Why you need collection? Collection size. I mean, array has generally people say 3 problems. Actually, there are 5 problems. Problem number 1. It can store only same type of objects. Problem number 2. It can store only fixed number of objects. Problem number 3. It doesn't have inbuilt methods to perform different operations. For example, after storing my objects inside an array, I want to search for the object. Not possible. I want to insert object. Not possible. I want to remove object. Not possible. Array provide only 3 operations. Number 1, store. Number 2, read. Number 3, replace. Only 3 operations it will support. Array can support only 3 operations. If you want excess operation, more than these 3 operations like insert, search, sort, remove, okay, any more operations you want to perform, then you yourself should develop some more logic. I should develop, you should develop, everyone should develop in the project. Then one developer to another developer, project to project, that insertion logic is changing? No. Searching logic changing? No. Replacing, remove logic is changing? No. Sorting logic changing? No. Then why I have to develop? Sun Microsystem has to develop. He identified the problem of array and solution has provided with what? Collection. A class called collection. So when we have already array, why collection came? Collection has 5 problems. What the 5 problems? First problem is what? Type problem. It can store only same type of objects, homogeneous objects. So problem number 2, size problem. It is a fixed in size, cannot grow its capacity. Problem number 3, it doesn't have inbuilt methods. It doesn't have inbuilt methods to perform different operations. These are the 3 problems only people are addressing. That's why collection become very difficult for the students to understand. The actual dangerous problem is next 2 problems. If you don't understand these 2 problems, next collection chapter you cannot understand. Tell me, what is the 4th problem? Array can store only the data in indexed order. Only in array format, indexed order it will store. If indexed order it is storing, when I store this data to the layman, he cannot understand what is the data. We need some information about data to provide. Data about data, metadata. I should provide some metadata to my data. Nothing but what? Key I have to provide. If you want to store data in key value pair, is array supporting that? No. For that, I need what? Other kind of data, that the other kind of object, that is called what? Collection. So array doesn't support storing data in key value. Okay, next. Tell me, it is storing data without the format of storing data is what? Indexed order, indexed format. Now, I created array object. First, I am storing 7279. Then I am storing HK. Then I am storing NIT. Then I am storing what? Java. The data is storing in insertion order. In which order I am storing? In that order it is storing. Okay, na? Next, I want to retrieve data from here. You can retrieve data from any location. That is called what? Random. Storing data in the order we are storing is called what? Insertion order. The order we are retrieving data from the collection is called what? Random access. I can go to any location and I can access. That is called what? Random access. Understood? Right. So array supports only indexed format, Array supports only insertion order. But in our projects, we need to store data in table format, and also I need to store data in insertion order, sorting order, hash code order. What order? Hash code order, storing order. I want to store data in insertion order, sorting order, and hash code order. I want a retrieving order. I want to retrieve the data, retrieving order, random access order, sequential access order. Sequential means what? After 7 to 7 and only you have to go to HK. After HK only you have to go to NIT. One after one only you have to go randomly zigzag, you cannot go. Tell me, sir, LIFO is a storing order or retrieving order? Stack, LIFO order, na, some people know. That is storing order or retrieving order? In your colleges, you learn wrong. LIFO is a storing order. No, LIFO is retrieving order. LIFO is the retrieving order. Last in, first out. Next. FIFO. FIFO. First out, first in, first out is also retrieving order. It's not storing order. Okay. If you want to retrieve data in random, if you want to retrieve objects from the array in random access order, supports. Sequential order also supports, but it restricting you to retrieve only sequential order. No, if you want to retrieve sequential, but I'm supporting what? Random. I don't want random access, only sequential. No, get out. That support is not there. Next, I want to store retrieve data in last in first out order. Is it restricting? Will it support? Will it support last in first out order? Retrieve data from last index, Ravi. Last in what? Java. It is available in last index. Now, you take the data third index first, second index next, first index, then zero index. That is what? Last in, first out. Last in, first out. Understand? Array supports last in, first out order of retrieving. But is it restricting you to take that way only? No. It will not force us to retrieve last in, first out. Tell me, array allows you to retrieve data first in, first out order? Allows or not? Allows, Swami. Okay, how? Take this data, zero index first. Then what? 1, then 2, then 3. What we call it as? First in, first out. But is it restricting you? No. What the meaning of not supporting last in, first out means? It is not restricting me to retrieve in that order only. I can write logic, but it is not providing that logic to me. Understand? When you are writing logic, array supporting or not supporting? Not supporting. Okay, understood? Tell me, what are the most programming problems of array? Most dangerous programming problems of the array? Cannot store data in a different formats, cannot store and retrieve data in a different orders. So total array has how many problems? 5 problems. To solve these 5 problems, what came into picture? Everyone understand? So tell me, working with the collection is nothing but working with? That's all. So tell me, learning collection is learning array. Learning array is a learning collection. Then why should I teach 2 times arrays? Hey, understood? Why I don't teach array as a separate chapter? In a data type chapter, already array, how to create array, how to store array, how to read array, completed. The array programming, chingu, sorting, what do you call retrieving, removing, all these operations, if I taught as a separate chapter of array, then by the time collection covered, completed, coming to the collection, you are a gajini, no? Everything you will forget. Again, I have to teach you everything. With my previous batches experience, instead of teaching 2 times, I decided to teach collection as part of such array. Array programming as part of collection. Okay, let's start. Ready? Yeah? Okay, first read this point. 1 second. For the chapter name, collections framework or collections and generics. Collection framework is wrong. Need of collections framework. Collections framework. What is a collection? In real life, you have a lorry for collecting the bikes and carry from showroom to factory to showroom. So what is lorry? Lorry is a collection. Bus is a collection, taking the passengers from one place to another place. Now, as part of program, I have two objects, factory and showroom. Showroom has given an order to the factory. Factory should manufacture the bikes and should return those bikes to showroom. Tell me in the real life, each bike is sending to the showroom on the road. Then how many drivers, how much petrol required to carry? For that, factory is hiring one lorry, putting all the bikes inside that lorry, sending that lorry to showroom. So how can we, what is that lorry in Java? That lorry in Java is what? Collection. So in the factory class order method, inside for loop, we create bike objects, bike B equal to new bike. How many orders came? 10. Then 10 bike objects created, add those 10 objects to the collection and return that collection from the order method. For the return type of order method, collection. Wherever we want collect object and return or receive the objects, there I have to create what? Collection. So we will use a collections framework chapter for storing objects in a different format and different orders without size and type limitation, and further carrying means transferring or passing all objects at a time from one class method to another class method across multiple layers of the project as a method argument and return type with a single name. We will use collections framework. So what is a collection? What the use of collection? In general, collection is a group of objects. General people say collection is a group of individual objects. Person, individual object, bike, computer, dog, lion, student, employee, bank account. All these objects group is called what? Collection. So in general, a collection is a group of individual things is called what? Collection. Students, employees, accounts, bank, bike, car, etc. is called what? Collection. Then technically, what is a collection? A collection is an object that contains another object. So we call it as what? Container object. A collection is a container object. It is used for collecting multiple homogeneous and heterogeneous, unique and duplicate objects without size and limitation, without size limitation. Type limitation. Type means what? Homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique and duplicate. So type means 4 types are there: homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique and duplicate. Size is size. And further it is used for sending all those objects as one unit using single name from one class to another class method as argument and return value. So all people understand that? Next, real-time example and collection. The real-time example and collection is what? Already told you one example. What is that? Collection. Lorry. Another example, school bag. School bag is also collection. We have so many books. Okay, water bottle, lunch boxes, snacks, chocolates, biscuit. Then saris on this side silently. So school bag and also container lorry. Tell me, school bag is a homogeneous collection or heterogeneous collection? Container lorry, because lorry generally meant for carrying same type of objects. So there are 2 types of containers are there: homogeneous and heterogeneous. Heterogeneous collection and homogeneous collection. Okay. Now let's try to understand the collection with MVC architecture. Now tell me, every project we will develop for storing end user data in database and reading the end user data from database. This is the main target. You choose any website. Every website you do one thing: store, read. For that we are developing project. If we want to store, first I have to collect the data from end user. After collecting data, we have to verify the data is very valid or not valid. If it is valid, store. If it is not valid, throw error. That means I have 3 layers: view, controller, model. View contain UI logic, controller contain business logic, model contain systems logic. UI logic take the data from the user and gives the data to business logic. Business logic to perform validations and perform calculations and give the data. This is what you are writing code in Core Java and Advanced Java. Business logic, that UI logic is HTML and servlet JSP Advanced Java. Only middle part, heart of the Java is what? Core Java. So without Hare Krishna, there is no Java. Voice is not coming. Hello, mic testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is not coming? Hello. Breaking. Okay. Whenever breaking, take a heavy stick and stick it. Breaking. Yeah, why? Really, I surprised, man. Why that breaking news is named as a breaking news? What it is breaking? Correct, huh? You know, when I heard first time, I surprised. Breaking news. What it is breaking? Okay. Okay. Heartbreaking, huh? Okay. So now tell me, end user sending to the UI logic, how many values? One or multiple? All those multiple values has to send from UI logic to business logic. Na? That means in the business logic, say UI logic is a one class. Business logic is also one class. A class want to send data to another class means class communication, class method to another class method communication. UI logic class will call business logic class method and passing the inputs as an argument. Yes or no? If you want to pass values as an input, there should be a parameter. How many parameters? Why you look at me for answer? Come on, tell me. How many parameters I should define in the method? As many? Now the question. If I want to pass 2 values, 2 parameters, 3 values, 3 parameters, 4 values, 4 parameters. As and when UI code is changing, number of parameters in the method also has changed. Na? Then the project is dynamic, stupid static. You develop Tumri code. Na? Tumri fellow, Tumri code develop. Tell me. The method parameter, should I change time to time or should not change? Then I define one parameter that can take multiple values. Who is that one parameter can take multiple values? Array or collection. So in the UI logic, array or collection is created and values are stored and pass that array or collection to whom now? Business logic method. Business logic method parameter is array type or collection type. Then that array and collection with inputs and outputs is giving to whom now? Persistence logic. Persistence logic reading the values and storing in database. Hey Babu, whoever getting the voice fluctuation, there is no problem from my side. Check your network signals. Is running at your side? Harika? Sunil Kumar Naik. Voice is breaking your side, not from my side. Understood? Ramesh. Not only voice, all problems are there at your end. Do one thing. Tomorrow onwards, all you come to the offline class. Voice breaking problem will not be there. Okay? Today night, catch bus and come to Hyderabad. My side problem. 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 My side problem There is no my side problem. Okay. All problems are your side. Hey. When I speak slowly, collection, array, database, then course completed next year. Tell me now. From the database, we have to take the data back, right? As an output, I have to return the values available in the database back to the end user. From the database, if you want to take the data, you have to run select query, na? Select star from student. How many records are coming? How many? That is the answer. Don't say all. Okay, as many records as we have. Maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 30. Understand? I run select star from student. Now I got 10. Select star from student, second time I call. By that time, some more students may take an admission. 20, 30, 40. Time to time, number of objects is changing now. Yes. Then tell me. Inside persistence logic, I have to create an object that can store multiple objects, right? Yes. That means again I have to use what? Array or collection. Now, in the return output flow, who will create collection object or array object? Persistence logic. Take the data from the database, store the data in the array or collection, return that collection or object to what? Business logic. Business logic return that object to the UI logic. Now UI logic reading the values and displaying on the table, displaying the browser in the table format. All people understand that? Yes. So what is the use of array or collection? To send the inputs to store in the database, to read data from the database and return to the UI logic. Huge number of values I have to take from as input and as output. There I required array or collection. Then tell me, either you take array or collection, what are the different operations I can perform? On array or on a collection, I can perform 9 operations. How many? 9 operations I can perform. What are those 9 operations? And tell me, what is the first operation? Insert. Add. What is the first operation? Add. What is the difference between add and insert? Is insert and add both are same? Add or store? Store and insert are both same? No. Store means end, means first element, next second element, next third element. Always the new element will go after last element. Insert means what? Anywhere in the middle of the elements. Between 1, 2 or 3, 4. Between if you store, that is called what? Insert. So tell me, what the first operation we can do on collection? Add one object. Okay. Then added. Then finally you have to know how many objects I added. Counting. How many objects I have added? Counting. Then next, after counting, I want to know what are the objects I have added, correctly added or not. Then what? I want to see objects are correctly added or not. Print. First operation, add. Count. Then print. Okay, add, count, print. Then done. After adding all the objects and counting, now I found that all objects are correctly added, correct position. Then this collection I am sending to the next layer. Then what that next layer person will do? Next layer person, what he has to do? He has to retrieve. Will he retrieve all objects? Sometimes all objects, sometimes only particular object. Okay, now as a faculty, I should retrieve all the objects. All the students I have to retrieve. But as an admin, he wanted to find a particular student. Particular student he wanted to find, then he has to search for that student or not. If you want to retrieve, first of all, you have to search. Tell me now, what the fourth operation? Search object. If you found, retrieve. If you found, retrieve. Now he called, Hare Krishna. Yes, get up, come out. Get up, retrieve, come out, remove. Now the student is removing from this classroom and sending out. Tell me now. So what are the operations we perform on a collection? Number 1. Retrievers. Hey, don't tell as you like order, Ravi. First, print. After printing, remove. Okay. Now I found one object I have added, but wrongly added. Some data, wrong data is there. Then update is called replace. Existing object remove. Now live example here. Now I asked the office boy, bring me water bottle. He brought the water with cool water. If cool water, if I drink tomorrow, class cancel. Okay. Now I need normal water, no cool water. Then what I said? Replace. Now this bottle, cool water is replaced with normal water. So that concept is called what? Replace. Next, insert. What are replace, insert? Then tell me. Now I want all. There are so many empty chairs are there. You people are spread across the class. I hate that one. If I see empty chair and in chair bag, I'll get so irritation because bag is not my student, no. Right? If all the people are sit nearer, I cannot look at complete class, no. Why you are leaving empty chairs and going and spreading entire the room? Tomorrow onwards, don't sit like that, okay? Arranging all the students in a proper order is called what? Sorting. So what is the last operation? Just I'm joking. Sit wherever you want, okay? Because the example I am taking, okay? Tomorrow don't hey, this is my chair. How can you sit here? And Vikas is not still okay, na? Hometown. What fever he got? Dengue fever. He was very weak that day when he was online attending at least. Hey, Vikas, are you there? Actually, he's my favorite student. Anything I scold, he will try to answer. Okay, right or wrong, he will keep on trying. When we give wrong, he will be silent. But next minute again he will try. Okay, he never stop. People are laughing, crying, irritating, least bother. So I need that kind of students in the class. Not sitting silently. When I scold, taking to the heart and say, you scold, no, I will not answer. Okay. This kind of people will create a lot of problems in the class, also in their career. When you are not habit of speaking, you cannot speak in the interview. You don't know how to give the correct answer. If you are giving wrong answers in the class, I'll keep on correcting. All records you told. All records, no, as many records as we have. Maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 30. So if you give this type of answer, then that means what you have practically worked. If you say all records, and casually you learn, that's it, no seriousness. So that's the terminology, small words also will be considered in the interview. That's why I'm forcing you to speak, so that your words will be corrected. Okay, fine. Now, next point. So totally how many operations you can perform? 3. Add, count, print, search, retrieve, remove, replace, insert, sort. Good job. In a collection class, how many methods are there? Collection class, 9 methods. Collection chapter completed. Yes or no? Ante, collection and ante, that's all over. Ante means what? This much. What do you call in Hindi? Itna chota hai, okay? Itna chota hai, okay? So collection is so easy chapter. If you know the base properly, what am I doing? I am not going to create collection. Already collection is available. Then what should I do? Just use it. How can I use a class? Create object. Collection C1 equal to new collection. What collection is doing? It providing the memory for storing multiple objects. Of what type? Any type. How many? Any number. In which format? 2 format. Insert and in index format and key value pair format. Okay, in which order? Your wish order. Insert order, sorting order, hash code order. Sir, what is hash code order? I didn't understand. I didn't explain, no? Then why you are thinking about and I have not understood? Just name I gave. Okay. Then next retrieving order, sequence order, random access order, what do you call LIFO order, FIFO order. Okay. Then to perform these operations, once the collection object is created, If you want to perform these storing, retrieving operation, how many methods are there? How many operations I can perform? 9 operations. Then how many methods will be there? 9 methods. So create collection object, call these 9, one of the methods based on your operation. That's all. Collection programming is completed. So bacha chapter, easy chapter. All people got clarity? What you are learning, why you are learning? Okay. Then my question is, tell me again, how can we store multiple objects as a one group? By using array and collection. Why do we need collection when we have already array? What are the problems of array? Those are forcing Sun to develop collection API. Array has 5 problems. It allows only homogeneous objects. Its size cannot be increased or decreased. It don't have inbuilt methods to perform different operations. Cannot store objects in different formats. Cannot store objects in different order. So to solve all above 5 problems of array objects undefined, collections API. Tell me, what is the meaning of collections API? Collections API. API means what? Multiple classes. Set of classes and interfaces performing collecting objects operation is technically called what? Collections API. Everyone excited? Now I'm asking seriously one question. You don't think seriously, casually think and give answer, okay? Tell me. To solve different type of objects to store homogeneous problem, to solve homogeneous problem, how many collection classes required? One sufficient. Okay. Simply in the collection class, if you create array object of type object, O capital letter object array, then I can store any type of object. Na? Yes. So to solve the first problem, how many collection classes required? 1. To solve second problem is what? Size problem. Now I create array with 10 locations. Then how many objects I can store? 11th object I want to store. Possible or not possible? Why? Array doesn't have 11th location. Then what should I do? Grow array capacity. That means I should write logic to grow its capacity. Understand? For example, now slowly we found that number of students are increasing for me because COVID completed. Now students are like to come to Hyderabad for offline class because online class and network fluctuation and only sitting in the room ideal. If Amirpet come, Hyderabad come, more people are there, more network will form, more jobs identification, more advantage will be there. So people decided to come to the offline. Then if number of students are increasing, is this room sufficient or not sufficient? Then what to do? Increase this wall, remove this wall. What no? This is not a real wall, temporary wall. We constructed with wood. Break it, it will go. Okay. Plywood wall. Now tell me, if number of students are increasing, what we'll do? That is small room, we will connect to this room. I will extend. That means increasing the capacity of the room. Currently, this room capacity is around 300 students. Now, offline, 500 students are coming. Then what I will do? I will extend this room.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes.
Now, my question is, think. If the array capacity is 10, if we want to store 11th or 12th or 13th object, what should I do? Inside a collection class, I should define one method, increase capacity. Yes or no?
Yes.
What is the array capacity? 10. Initial capacity 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Size reached to capacity. Size means how many objects you store. Capacity means totally how many we can store. For example, I store one object. What the size? 1. What the capacity? Capacity 10. 2 objects I stored. Size to capacity 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Size reached to capacity na? Means size equal to capacity. Then grow capacity. I have to call what method? Grow or increase capacity method. Then what we do background? Simply we will increase the capacity of the array. How to increase? I will teach you practically. That is secondary story. Okay. Now my question. In this collection class, to solve the type problem, I have chosen object array. To solve the size problem, I have created one method with logic, increase the capacity. Then to solve the second problem, do I need multiple classes or one class? One class is sufficient, right? In the same class, type and size problems are solved. Then tell me, how many methods we created now in the collection class? Two methods. One method for adding, one method for increasing the capacity. Okay, na? And add operation we completed. How many operations I can perform on a collection? 9. In that, what is the one operation we completed? Add operation completed. Then I want to perform count, print, search, retrieve, remove, replace, insert, sort. These operations to perform, I need logic, na? Where I should write logic? Methods. In the same class, after add method and grow method, I should add more 8 methods, na? If I write more 8 methods, then the problem is solved. That means to solve the third problem also, do I need any new class in the same class? To solve the first problem, second problem, third problem, how many classes required? One class is sufficient. Now show your talent. To solve the fourth problem, is one class sufficient? What the fourth problem? Storing objects in different formats. What the first format? Array, index. Second problem, second format, table, key value pair. Okay. Then tell me. To store objects in array format and table format, one class sufficient, separate two classes required. Two classes required. And now how many collection classes came now? Two collection classes we got. Hello? Understood? People are not considering this fourth problem. That's why people not understand why we have two kinds of collections. We have two kinds of collections, collection and map. Collection and map. And tell me, collection is meant for storing objects in array format with index. Map is used for storing objects in key value pair format. Why it is called map or why it is called table? It is called table or it is called what? Map. Why it is called map? Because each value is mapped with a key or not. What is 7279? Employee number. What is HK? Name. What is NIT? Institute. What is Java? Teacher. What he teaches. So each value is mapped with a key. That's why this format is called what? Map. So tell me, collections framework has how many kinds of classes? Two. Number one, collection, map. Tell me, collection framework is divided into how many hierarchy classes? Two. Collection hierarchy, map hierarchy. Collection hierarchy is meant for storing objects in an array format with index. Map is used for storing objects with mappings. Okay, na? Key value pair with mappings. First point is clear. To solve first three problems, just collection is sufficient. Map is not required. To store different format, map, table format, I require one more collection called what? Map. So minimum, how many classes are there in the collection API? Two. One is for storing objects in array and second is for storing objects in map format. Done. Are these two classes sufficient or not sufficient? Why? Now the fifth problem I have to solve, different orders. Tell me, if I want to store objects in insertion order, I need one class. I want to store objects in a sorting order, another class. Last in, first out, another class. First in, first out, another class. Hash code order, another class. That means under collection hierarchy, under map hierarchy, again we have multiple classes or not? We got multiple classes depending on orders. In which order you want to store? For each order to support, we have separate classes. Do you understand now why this chapter is called Collections API or Collections Framework? Why it is not calling collection? Collection means one. one class. Collection means one class. But how many classes are there? Multiple. That's why it's called what? Collections. Samajh mein aaya? Everyone really? So tell me. How many collections are there? 18 collections are there. 18. అవునా నేను వెళ్ళిపోతా 18 just now you told 2 but now you are saying 18 cheating. Why 18 collection classes? For different order. There are, see, how many orders we have? Insertion order, sorting order, hash code order, and random access order, sequential access order, last in first out, first in first out. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, na? 7 collections for collection for map. Are you following my point? So the order, in which order you want to store objects in index format, same order should support in map format also, na? That's why for each order 2 classes. Okay. And next, sir, how many total coming? 14. Next, tell me, we have a concept called enum, na? I don't want to store regular objects. I want to store enum objects. To support enum objects, I need one more class. 15. Okay, na? Hope you understand why we have 18 classes. Tell me, Amma, but 18 classes I should learn. 18 classes you have to learn. 18 class names you have to learn. Just class names. If you know class name, the class name will tell in which order we have to store. Automatically it will tell. Okay. So what is the why Sun Develop Collection API? Sun Develop Collection API because to solve these 5 problems. Tell me, what is the first problem? Type problem. To solve type problem, I have to create array, int array you create, then int type values only we can store. Double type, only double values. String array type, only string objects. Faculty allowed? No. Admin allowed? No. If I create person array, student, faculty, admin allowed, but Lino, Tiger not allowed. If you want allow Lino, Tiger, animal. Animal array, if I create line array, only line object. Tiger array, only tiger object. Animal array, all types of animal objects I can store. That means if you want to solve the type problem, I have to choose which type of object? Super class. I should use super class type to create array object. Now object array obj equal to new object of 7. Then once you create object array, I can store all types of object. So how can we solve the type problem? The first problem, if you want to solve, you have to use what? Object type. Tell me now, if you want to solve the array type problem, do I need collection or not required? Not required. In your program, just you create object array. Then when I required collection to solve size problem. Okay, na? How to solve size problem? I have to write some algorithm. I will write that algorithm in tomorrow class. Sorry, yesterday I told you I'll take class up to 8:15, right? Yeah, small problem occurred. Whenever I am planning seriously, one problem will be waiting for me. Okay. Yesterday I was shouting on the phone, remember? Last 1.5 months, we are facing one problem in our flat. Power fluctuations. Due to power fluctuations, every day we are complaining, but they are not taking serious because we are talking very light. Okay. And yesterday in my house, RCB power supply, RCB one will be there. That is gone. Then entire night there is no power. Okay, na? Then since morning, I went to that shop, this shop, and find that RCB is not available in every shop. So I have run that shop, this shop. Finally, I found lot of time it took, and now no energy to continue class. That's why morning sessions I didn't take the class. Remember? At what time I have sent the message yesterday? At what time I sent message? At 11 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, my fighting was completed with the people. I went to there and shouting, bombarding like anything. So people get scared like, hey, Mahindra. You know, I never shout at anybody. I'm a very quiet person in my apartment. As some people don't know also. So yesterday, by the way, I shouted in the groups and everywhere. Then everybody gets scared. Then now momentum started in the flats. All flat owners now planning for something. Okay, how to solve the problem, people started working. And I told you, in the demo classes, we Indians need some person to start. If somebody started, we also add to them. So I started, people are added. Okay. So generally, we will react only when the problem comes to us. Until the problem not coming to us, we don't react. Yeah, I also did mistake because I am not expert in that electricity department and all. Okay, if I go and talk what I should talk, whom to talk, I don't know. And if I shout also, people will not listen because there is no seriousness that much. Because in my flat, there is no seriousness. Na? Then yesterday, after I got the problem, then when I shout, people realize, Amma, this fellow also got problem. So I have to be quiet. Then that higher people who are to solve the problem, they're quiet listening me. And then, so created some momentum in the flats. So that's why, always remember, don't let the problem come to up to your doorstep. When you find some problem, someday it will come to me, react it before the problem not come to you. Even classroom also. Okay, when you face, from the day beginning, I'm saying, if you face some problem in my explanation or class timings or anything, directly come and talk to me. Don't talk to your friends. Don't talk to outsiders because they cannot solve the problem. They will create more problem. Yes or no? So when you face any problem, directly talk to me. Together we'll solve the problem. We'll find a solution. Okay? Fine. That's all for today class. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have class up to 8:15. Okay? Next. Yeah, Saturday. No class. Okay, Jalo. I thought of extra class to take, but I have some work. Okay, regular class started. Thank you. So will you please read these all points in the materials? Which material? Xerox material 3. Collection chapter is there. Please read and come. Thank you.